of other shit right now. But nonetheless, I powered through it. I powered through it. And now, let me understand. I was told that the Unrivaled, when I made a video about it, well, that's not a conflict of interest. They play during a different time of the year. And I said, bullshit. They are a professional basketball league that has women from the WNBA literally playing and participating in it. It is not only a conflict of interest, it's a
Following what many observers considered a disappointing WNBA All-Star Game showcase, significant tensions have emerged regarding competing basketball leagues and player compensation demands. The event featured controversial elements including a 4-point shooting experiment that drew criticism for diminishing game quality and entertainment value. The most substantial development involves Seattle Storm forward Gabby Williams revealing details about recent collective bargaining discussions. During All-Star Media Day, Williams disclosed that league officials are actively working to eliminate competing women's professional basketball organizations, particularly targeting the newly established Unrivaled League and Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball. Williams explained that Thursday evening's bargaining session made clear the WNBA's intention to restrict player participation in alternative leagues.
It's a huge conflict of interest. Well, guess what? Gabby Williams has come out and said, yeah, now that they're in the CBA, and I said, the moment these players and these were facing getting raises, that these owners of these teams were going to be like, if we're going to pay you more money, you are our investment.
According to her statements, league representatives want to eliminate these competitive options while simultaneously refusing to match the compensation levels offered by rival organizations. This creates a problematic situation where players face limited earning opportunities despite the league's exclusivity demands. The conflict highlights fundamental business concerns about player investment protection. Team ownership groups invest substantial resources in player contracts and view outside league participation as potential threats to their assets. Injury risks during off-season competition could devastate franchise operations, particularly given the league's current financial structure and recent media rights agreements.
You are our investment. We don't want our investment damaged if we're going to pay you real money. And that means we don't want you going to Unrivaled. We don't want you to go to Europe and blow out an ACL or tear an Achilles injury. Can you imagine? Let's set the stage. We're going through this right now. Caitlin Clark decides she's going to play in Unrivaled. I don't think she will. Let's say she does. All right? Goes out there, blows an...
This competitive tension mirrors similar situations in other professional sports, where established leagues typically resist parallel organizations that might dilute talent pools or create scheduling conflicts. The timing coincides with ongoing negotiations over player compensation and working conditions, adding complexity to already contentious discussions. Williams' 8-year professional career recently culminated in her first All-Star selection, providing her with a platform to address systemic compensation issues. Her comments suggest players feel caught between limited domestic earning options and league restrictions on international or alternative competition participation. The backdrop involves Unrivaled League founders Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, who established their organization to provide enhanced off-season opportunities for women's basketball players.
Say she does. All right? Goes out there, blows an Achilles. The WNBA season is over. Monetarily, the season is a washout. For the Indiana Fever, forget about it. You saw Caitlin Clark was literally there coaching last night. Didn't matter. The ticket value was cut in half. The average ticket price went from $121 to like $62 or something like that. We all seen the ratings. I can't wait.
Their dual roles as both league founders and players association representatives creates potential conflicts of interest that could complicate future negotiations. Financial realities underscore these tensions, with recent reports indicating the WNBA operates at significant losses annually. Published figures suggest the league lost approximately $40 million during the previous season, raising questions about sustainability and investor patience with continued red ink operations. During the All-Star festivities, players wore shirts demanding increased compensation with slogans about being paid appropriately.
We all seen the ratings. I can't wait to see the ratings on that debacle last night. Of course, the other thing we're going to look at is the continued fallout of those god-awful shirts that has turned into a laughing stock of social media. And you may be like, well, Rhodes, why is that such a laughing stock? Well, because of this. From October 18th of last year, it was an exclusive by the way of the New York Post when they broke the story that the WNBA will lose $40 million this season. And
this demonstration occurred simultaneously with public knowledge of the league's substantial financial losses, creating an awkward juxtaposition that generated widespread social media commentary and criticism. The average WNBA salary currently sits around $102,000 annually, which exceeds typical American worker compensation but falls below many professional sports standards. Critics point out that if losses were distributed among players, each would theoretically owe substantial amounts to team ownership rather than demanding increases. Mathematical analysis of the league's financial performance suggests that players currently receive compensation despite negative revenue generation.
$1 million this season, and its NBA investors are growing impatient. And y'all had the unmitigated gall on the day of the evening during the All-Star game to hit the floor saying, we want you to pay us more money. The WNBA, the investors had to be sitting back going, are you shitting me? Pay us what we're owed or whatever it is that they...
Some commentators calculate that, based on pure profit and loss metrics, player salaries represent subsidized payments rather than earned income from successful business operations. The league's 29-year history shows no documented profitable seasons, raising questions about the sustainability of current compensation levels, let alone proposed increases. This financial reality conflicts with player demands for enhanced pay structures and expanded benefits packages. Potential legal complications may arise from the competing league situation, particularly if contractual obligations conflict with player desires for alternative competition opportunities.
Pay us what we're owed or whatever it is that they said. And honestly, that if you go by the money, hell, the players ought to write a check to the freaking league. And we'll look at some response from that. But you see this headline. Storm's Gabby Williams makes bold WNBA unrivaled claim after CBA talks. This is going exactly where I thought it would go. The next thing, if I am the owners...
The intersection of collective bargaining agreements, individual player contracts, and outside league participation could generate litigation between various parties. Ownership groups face difficult decisions about balancing player satisfaction with business realities. Recent media rights deals, largely attributed to increased viewership driven by specific star players, provide some optimism for revenue growth, but don't immediately resolve current financial shortfalls. The timing of these developments coincides with crucial negotiations that will determine the league's future direction.
Where I thought it would go. The next thing, if I am the owners and I'm Kathy Engelbert, the next thing I'm doing is I'm telling the WNBA PA, we don't want Breonna Stewart or Nafisa Collier involved in these talks. Being the founders of the Unrivaled League, we want you to appoint two other people instead of them. It could be, look, one of them could be Caitlin Clark. That might secretly help out the WNBA PA.
Player representatives must balance demands for increased compensation with recognition of the league's financial constraints and investor concerns about continued losses. Star player participation in alternative leagues presents particular risks given their disproportionate impact on franchise revenues and fan attendance. Injury concerns involving marquee players during off-season competition could devastate team performance and ticket sales for entire seasons. The situation reflects broader challenges facing women's professional sports regarding sustainable business models and appropriate compensation structures.
And they go over the viral moment of when Caitlin Clark, I guess, became a meme after an interaction she had with Ryan Howard earlier in the season in the Atlanta Dream game. And this is actually kind of funny.
Fucking go. I'm right here. My whole face is right here. Freeze frame. You're like, my whole face is right here. My hair's all messed up. I just got hit.
She's cracking up. And here's another clip where apparently Caitlin Clark was splattered all.
Balancing player desires for increased earnings with league financial realities requires careful consideration of multiple competing interests. Future developments likely depend on resolution of several key issues, compensation.
And here's another clip where apparently Caitlin Clark was splattered all over the court right in front of Sue Bird, and Sue Bird talks about having no idea what to do.
I think you found. Yeah, we know what he's thinking. I was like, what do I do? So I didn't know what to do. I was like, should I help her? If I help her, people are gonna be like, why do you help her? If I don't help her, they'll be like, how come you didn't help her? Literally, I'm frozen in time. I remember what happened. This was my rookie year. Jordan Horston fouled me, and they didn't call a landing space foul per usual. But never did.
Per usual.
Common foul.
The outcome of these negotiations could establish precedents for other professional women's sports leagues facing similar challenges regarding player compensation, competitive restrictions, and financial sustainability in evolving media and entertainment markets. The WNBA All-Star Weekend brought extensive media coverage, featuring numerous player interviews and special events alongside ongoing collective bargaining discussions that added complexity to what traditionally serves as pure entertainment. Multiple storylines emerged throughout the festivities, creating abundant content across various platforms and generating significant fan engagement. Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe conducted live podcast recordings during All-Star Weekend, featuring Caitlin Clark as a prominent guest.
On foul. Yeah, I was like, I thought one of the Seattle fans would help me. Maybe even you, but
I'm dead.
I froze. I even have green shoes on and no one still helped me. I was like, oh my God, I was like, I don't even see you down there. I did get up on my own, just so everybody knows.
I actually had never watched that until I watched it with you guys. So my reaction was the most genuine reaction. I actually often don't watch things until I record my.
Their conversation revisited viral moments from Clark's season, including her memorable interaction with Ryan Howard during an Atlanta Dream matchup that transformed into internet meme material. The authentic reactions and spontaneous laughter demonstrated genuine chemistry between the participants. Additional footage showed Clark sprawled across the court directly in front of Sue Bird, who later described feeling completely uncertain about appropriate responses. Bird expressed internal conflict about whether intervention would generate positive or negative reactions from observers, ultimately resulting in paralysis during the incident.
I actually often don't watch things until I record myself watching them. And their introduction to her was also pretty epic.
DJ, hit that shit.
The music. Look, I don't think anyone knows who's coming out yet. This is so funny.
Vibe it out, guys. Vibe it out.
Clark acknowledged the moment during their discussion, noting the absence of assistance despite wearing distinctive green footwear. Clark revealed experiencing the viral moment for the first time while recording with Bird and Rapinoe, making her reactions completely genuine rather than rehearsed. The hosts provided an elaborate introduction characterizing Clark's preferences, including snack choices and recreational activities, before welcoming her with enthusiastic applause and emotional responses. The official podcast release through YouTube will likely follow, providing broader access to their complete conversation.
Vibe it out, guys. Vibe it out.
I can't.
Hailing from just a few states over, she loves a good Cheez-It and will wash it down with some Slick. She loves Scrabble, outdoor concerts at the Ruoff, and golfing at Crooked Stick. She's every ref's favorite.
Clark's injury status generated numerous media inquiries directed toward teammates including Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, and Alia Boston, creating opportunities for supporting commentary about her condition and recovery prospects. Sabrina
She's every ref's favorite.
Every ref's favorite.
She dresses like a CEO because she's a boss. Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark.
So that was
Her current status as a dominant league performer, all-star selection, and Olympic team member demonstrates how early adversity can transform into competitive advantages through proper management. Current narratives suggesting Clark's diminished abilities or single-season success lack foundation among knowledgeable sports observers, though such speculation creates unnecessary anxiety for athletes experiencing injury complications. Groin strains and soft tissue injuries present particular challenges due to constant muscle engagement during basic activities like walking. The anatomical positioning and joint mechanics involved in groin injuries result in slower healing processes compared to other injury types.
So that was pretty funny. I am sure there will be a released podcast, an official podcast with Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird on YouTube at some point. But Caitlin Clark is sidelined, and a lot of the media have been asking players about Caitlin Clark. They've been asking Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Leah Boston. But Robin Lundberg, my buddy Robin, he is there. He is boots on the ground. He's actually asking some pretty great questions, but he was able to ask Sabrina Ionescu on Caitlin Clark and
Ionescu emphasized serving as a supportive resource for Clark throughout recovery, having navigated similar challenges and understanding both physical and psychological aspects of prolonged rehabilitation. Clark's impact extends beyond on-court performance, evidenced by sustained excitement in Indianapolis regardless of her playing status. The city's electric atmosphere began building weeks before All-Star Weekend, suggesting her influence transcends immediate athletic contributions and encompasses broader community engagement. Multiple appearances throughout All-Star Weekend demonstrated Clark's commitment to league events despite injury limitations.
But he was able to ask Sabrina Ionescu on Caitlin Clark and dealing with her injuries.
Obviously, we're good friends. Like, I've been able to talk to her a lot kind of through this, process. And honestly, I've kind of went through something similar in my career. My first year I didn't play due to injury. And then second year, I had like 3 to 4 soft tissue injuries that I was dealing with. And it's kind of, you look back and it's a blessing in disguise because you're able to just learn and grow and, understand it's all part of your journey. And you just got to, continue to figure out what you need.
Her participation included attending parties where Courtney Williams and Natisha Hiedemann conducted extensive live streaming through their Stud Muffins show, providing behind-the-scenes access resembling reality television coverage of WNBA personalities. Clark's brother received microphone access during these events, using the platform to criticize officiating standards throughout the league. His commentary joined growing chorus of officials questioning current refereeing quality, including statements from Kelsey Plum, Cheryl Reeve, Becky Hammond, and Gabby Williams regarding inadequate game management. Williams additionally raised concerns about CBA negotiations, suggesting league leadership attempts to undermine competing organizations like Unrivaled and Athletes Unlimited.